Start.
Hello everyone, my name is Vijay Kumar and I am going to deal some of the topics which are present in your GS paper 1. Clear? So the major topics which I am going to deal is related with geography as well as some of the concepts related with the climate, environment as well as disaster management. Clear? So to understand geography, it is highly important for you to understand about the syllabus. So before starting up of reading the geography syllabus or reading the NCRTs or covering Majid Hussain, so please try to read the syllabus first. So if you are going to read the syllabus, then your half of the preparation is done. Clear? So geography itself has an inbuilt component of environment, disaster management, climatic issues. So geography, as everyone says, it is the mother of all subjects. So it becomes highly important for you and you can score pretty good marks in GS paper 1 as well as in GS paper 3. Clear? So I'm taking one of the simple concepts which are present in your geography syllabus, that is present in your GS paper 1, and the syllabus is like factors responsible for location of primary, secondary and tertiary industries. Clear? So in this, if you want to understand about the locational aspects of different industries, then first you have to understand some basic factors which are responsible for location of any industry in this world. Clear? So like it is not like we can establish the industry anywhere. See, for example, if in India, if you want to establish an agro based industry, like if you want to establish a cotton textile industry, so you won't expect, like you would be expecting and you would be establishing your industry in Andaman Nicobar Islands, right? So because there is no cotton growth, so wherever there is no cotton growth, it would be a big foolish thing that you would be establishing a cotton textile industry over there. So wherever you have presence of cotton in those regions, you would be like establishing cotton textile industries. In a similar way, so raw material based industries are highly important for us. We have two different types of industries. One is generally raw material based, like those industries which are dependent upon the direct raw materials. But there are other industries which are responsible for, they are dependent on other industries like ancillary industry. The example is automobile industry. Clear? So in this way, every industry requires some basic things, right? So we will be discussing those basic things in this lecture. Then if you see, I have discussed only a basic phenomena for establishment of industry. Apart from this, going into details of different industries, like see, I can't give the same locational factors for iron and steel industry which I give it for cotton textile industry. I can't give the same location of set of industries which I have given it to sugar mills. Done. So in this way, if you see, first we will discuss generalized factors, then we will move into particular factors responsible for location of industries. Done. So to establish an industry, first before entering into the factors responsible for location of industries, first let me ask you a question: what is industry? Done. Which makes man work very easier, that is industry. Clear? So for example, if any question has been asked, like trace the evolution of industries, generally people start writing, right, industries are growth, like they help in growth and development, they help in so and so, they write about different 5 year plans. But any time when you write about industries, try to define what actually is an industry. So you might have read about industrial revolution, right? So go back to it, once refer what actually is an industrial revolution, then come back so that you will understand. And I suggest you one more point, like a very important point, where you can score excess of 1 or 2 marks for every question. Like for example, if you prepare an introduction and conclusion for each and every keyword mentioned in the UPSC syllabus, and that also goes with geography, then it would be very efficient for you to write the introductions and conclusions very easily, so that you can focus on the main structure of the answer, that is the body of the answer which you would be writing. Done. So normally entering into the factors, what factors can we expect? In general, without raw material, do you think the industry can be established? No. So raw material becomes, like raw material is the basic component of industry, like to be in, to like in a defined way, where raw material is like converted into finished product. This is the place of industry. Like in industry, what generally happens is raw material moves in and the output which comes out, that is the finished product. Done. So the raw material which is present, that moves into the industry and a finished product would be coming out. Done. Like for example, eating consumption of direct wheat, we go to flour mill and we take like the flour which we get as an output and we would be converting. But in this consumeristic societies, we have very limited amount of time. So we are using the Ashirwad atta. What does it do? It is an agro-based industry. Just it converts the wheat and some preservatives are added into it. Then an output of packing is made. Then we are taking directly from the market. Done. So in this way, any industry whereby a raw material enters in and a finished product comes out. This is what an industry is. So for such kind of industries, raw materials are basic things, where raw materials are required, where raw materials are the major sources to establish any industry, and hence the industrial establishment would depend on raw material itself. Like for example, as I have said, the cotton textile industries which you have, they would be established wherever we find cotton. It's a simple thing, right? Wherever we find cotton. So in the areas where we won't find cotton, if you establish cotton textile industry, that would be the biggest like investment which you make, where you would be incurring loss. That is a common thing, right? So you have to be pre-planned that wherever you establish any industry, there in those regions, you will find the raw material which is required to you. Like industries are of two types in general. When I calculate, it is weight gaining industries and it is weight losing industries. Like for example, if you are establishing an iron and ore, like iron and steel industry near to like let's expect as Mumbai. If you are establishing the iron and steel industry at Mumbai, done. So you have to get iron ore from like Kudremukh mines of Mangalore region and Kemamgudi mines of Mangalore region. The iron ore has to be transported to Mumbai. So to get finished product of 4 kgs of steel, let's assume in this way, 100 kgs of iron ore is required. So do you really think transporting this 100 kgs of iron ore or 100 tons of iron ore to Mumbai, doesn't it increase the cost of the final product? It is a simple equation, right? So in this way, instead of establishing the industry at Mumbai, why don't you establish in and around Kudremukh regions? Done. So this is the possible way where you can establish the industry near to that of raw material location. Like if you see, as I have said, we have two industries. One industry is like weight losing industry, as I have said the example, and one is weight gaining industry. Done. So for weight gaining industry, it is not a compulsion that it has to be established near to that of raw material location, because like weight gaining industries would be in such a way, like if you are taking 50 kgs from the raw material locations, reaching the market or the established area where you would be finding, the final output would be 100 kgs. So this doesn't give much like transportational effects. Excuse me. And in this way, the weight gaining industries are generally established near to the market location itself. Generally the bakery products, the biscuits, the things which we generally consume, those kind of weight gaining industries are established near to the markets. Why? Because like if they are established somewhere away from the market, like example considering the bakery products, bread manufacturing industry, so they need some raw material, and after manufacturing they have to move to market location, and it has very least expiry date, like it has to be consumed within 15 to 20 days of its manufacture, and to transport and it to come out and to give a retail output, it takes somewhere around 5 to 6 days in an assumption. Then in the 15 days of packing period, if 5 to 6 days are moving in transportation, then finally the finished product wouldn't get that value. That is the reason why weight gaining industries generally they are established in and around a market location. If you want, you can observe that in any of the urban centers in and around, you would be finding industries which are like weight gaining industries. We won't find any weight losing industries. Weight losing industries are found near to that of raw material location. Then, so in this way, the raw material becomes the basic factor. In that raw material also, we have a thing like the raw materials are of two types again. One is which is found everywhere, one is which is into a specific region. So which is found everywhere, that raw material which is found everywhere, there is nothing important related with it. But the raw material which is found in specific region, that region would be becoming a highlight region where we can establish our particular industry into that region. Apart from the transport, power, cheap labor facilities, as well as government policies, market, and some of the miscellaneous factors would be establishing the industries, right? So government policies, this is the latest one which I have observed, I have inserted into this, whereby government itself is influencing, like creating some like giving some areas as special economic zones or declaring some zones as free trade zones. So by making its own industrial policy, state governments instead, they are attracting the industries towards that state. The best example is the latest formed state of Telangana, where the industrial policy has attracted many IT industries towards that particular Hyderabad hub region. Done. So this is one of the latest factors which you can comment and write in your conclusions. Clear? And hence, thank you for watching this lesson. Have an awesome day.